Okay, just an update on my little carbide grinders that I've been working on. I've been working on them here and there when the weather's bad outside. Today it's raining, drizzling, so I've kind of finished up building things, and I actually put one of them kind of together. It's not fully complete. I'm going to bend some sheet metal and put my switch up here, and I'm thinking about putting the light on here too. But I do have the table. I kind of went overkill with the table. I should have cut it off right here and just had it just this long, but I guess a little extra table is not going to hurt anything, because I don't know how he'll mount his, but I'm going to mount mine so that it's actually hanging off wherever I mount it on the bench, so it'll actually, like this would be the bench. My surface plate would be the bench here. I'll have it hanging off, and then I have it so that I have a bracket here. If I loosen that, I can adjust this up and down. I can loosen the two slides on the side and adjust the gap on the wheel. So anyway, I'm about ready to put the second one together here, and I just thought I'd video that. I haven't videoed much of my work, so the first thing to do would be to mount, need to back you up so you can see what's going on here. But I made these brackets here. They go in and get pinned here on the first hole, and then there's two dowels that rides on the side of the block here. So I guess the first thing I need to do is put some dowels in here. I need to put 4 dowels in. Actually, I'm going to put this together first. So take and mount this. Put the pins in. I turned up some 3/16 drill rod. They're not drill blanks, it's just drill rod. Get the hole lined up. Tap that in. And go to the other side. Put the other one in. Same thing. Put it in the slot. I just on the back side of the table here, I milled the slots for these to fit in, milled the angle, and then I milled this cut in here so that if I ever want to knock this pin out, I can just knock it into that slot. Otherwise, I'd have been building a mouse trap where I wouldn't have been able to get it apart anyway without going back in there and milling. But this way I can still get it apart if I want to down the road. So anyway, why is it rocking? Pin must be sticking out yet a little bit. There we go. All right. Come on. I didn't find the hole. I'm looking at the back side here through to see where the hole's at, why it's not where I'm off. There we go. Okay. And the adjustment for up and down is going to go on this side. It gets bolted into this block, so that is the short little guide, if I can find where I laid it. Shoot. Thought I had everything laying here ready to go. Not underneath this one. Nope, there goes my pin though. Alright, what did I do with it? I did make two. Missing my linkage here for the adjustment. I got I laid it down somewhere. Isn't that the shits? You lay stuff down and then it seems like I don't remember where I laid it. Because I thought I had all the pieces here. Oh, here it is. Had it over by the sander, the disc sander. I need to deburr this hole first. I had it laid by the disc sander. I was just disc sanding the radius on it. Want to get a good chamfer on it to help me guide the pin in when I tap the pin in. Now let's see, make sure I get it on the right side. It goes on this side. So tap the slot, line up that. Okay. Put this pin in here. Well, that could have been a little tighter, but that'll work. If it does vibrate out, I'll take and Loctite it in place. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and mount this block on here first before I go any further. Oh, I didn't cut screws for that. I got long 1024 screws that I need to cut off for that. And because they're too long, they're way too long, so I need to cut them off. Even this one, and plus the heads aren't like a cap screw; they're just a little bit over. So you gotta just sand down the diameter of the head just a little bit for it to fit in the counterboard. Like that. See, then it'll fit in the counterbore. Do the other one. Okay, so now I'm just gonna shove it in there, and I'm going to take a marker here. Just mark a line on here. Right about where I want to cut it. I'll just go over to the lathe here and I'll shut my sander off. Go over to the lathe over here and pull this out. I need to deburr that before I pull that out of there. Just run a file, knock that burr off. And this rod is rusted, and it is actually feels like it could even be a little oversized. Huh. Well, for crying out loud. Grab this with my scripts here. Let's see if I can twist it and get it out of there. Stuck in my collar. Well, there we go. It's just some old rod that I had laying around, and it's pretty rusted. That's why it was so tight in that collet. I hope that's the only reason it was that tight. Leave that up there for now. And I want to cut it off right on that red mark. put her in close here. Okay. I'm going to cut right on that red mark. Move you over here a little bit. You can't see there. I don't know if you can see anything or not, but that's where you're going to sit. Okay, and then I'm going to stick the other one in there. I don't know how much too long it is. And that's a ways. I'm just going to grab the end of it. I want to make them about the same length. Okay, so if I go right up next to the collet. Alright, takes care of that. Now we'll go over here to my dirty disc sander and take the little nub off and give it a lead. Just give that first thread a little chamfer. Alright, now let's go back to the surface plate. Oh boy, you guys are gonna busy there. Alright, so we're back over here, and now I'm going to mount this on here. I had put a chamfer on for the wheel, for clearance on the wheel. So we'll go here. And all this block does is gives it an anchor point for adjusting the angle of the table. So it's not really nothing critical other than it can't move. You don't want it to move. Okay, so now like that. Now the table will go in here like that. So now I got to put these pins in over here, and I can put two of them in. And the other side I'll have to let's see, I want some short ones. I could have almost made those. I want them hard. I don't want them loose, plus they're 1/4 inch. I'm going to see if I can find some short 1/4 inch dowels. I'll be back. This side, and we'll see if we can get this on there now. Let's flip this out of the way, put that on there, and I'm going to just just loosely put a bolt in here to hold it in place. And same thing with the adjuster here. This adjuster, I'm going to do the same thing. Put a bolt in that to hold that in place. Okay. So now we have to get those the two in over here. I'm going to go to the mill on my vise to do that. I don't want to do it on my surface plate. So okay, I'll get the dowels, and just tap it in, and the next one. Come on. Let's get on this cushion. Yeah, find a place to lay it here. That wasn't too bad. All right, now let's go back over the surface plate. And we'll put the other bolt over here on this side. All these two brackets on the side, just so you can adjust it in and out, depending on what wheel you put on. I originally was going to go with a dish wheel, not a cup wheel, and they came in busted. So, okay. So here's the motor, and I don't know if I posted. I think I posted single point in these threads. Anyway, I pulled this motor apart, clamped up the armature between two centers, and then I single pointed, or I turned down this diameter to a was it a 3/8 24? I believe it was 3/8 24. Let's see here. Nope, 5/16 24. I'm sorry. And I single pointed it, turned it down, and then single pointed the threads up. And this originally had splines on it. I can show you. I think I got another motor laying here. I ordered a few of these motors because I really like them. They come in handy for little projects here. And they come with a spline. They're originally, I think, for a winch on a boat. So anyway, they're good. They're good little motors. So I'm going to mount this motor in here. Hopefully I can get my wheel in there. Oh, I might not be able to. I might have to take the table back off. See, this would go in here. I'm just going to put it together here. See if I can get my wheel in there. If I pull this back, I might have to. No, I can't get the screws in, so it's like a rat's nest. Yep, I'll have to take the table back off. But that's okay. I'll just knock the two pins out up here on both sides, and it'll come right off. No big deal. Let's get the motor in place. I should have did that right away. Got the motor in place and the wheel. Built kind of a rat's nest, as you would say, by putting that table on first. Okay, so the screw holes kind of lined up here. We'll find them. Come on. There we go. Got one. These are just Phillips panhead screws. Fine thread. Like I say, I want to take some measurements, cut some metal up, and then do some bending and bend a cover for it, and then that's where I'm going to mount the switch. I'll mount a two-way switch so I can flip the switch that way, it'll turn that way, flip the switch the other way, it'll go the other way. And then, like I say, I might put a light out here too. I have some LED lights, a whole bunch of them that I ordered, that I really like those, so I ordered a bunch of those too. So I'll tighten that up tight. Tighten this one up tight. And this one, I should have put a little blue Loctite on them. All right, let's knock these pins out. Get a punch. Small punch here. Go get my hammer. They should come out fairly easy. If it doesn't keep moving away from me. Come on. There's one. Actually, well, no, I was going to say I could have left that one in there, but I can't. I got to have the table all the way off in order to get that wheel in there. I think it's loose. I think I'm just being held with the screw down here to adjust the angle. Get out of there. There we go. I didn't tighten that one up very well, but I'll just snug this up so it doesn't. It's got to be able to slide it yet. Okay. Now let's get the wheel on there. And I'll probably end up having to shim these wheels. And what I'll do is I'll put it on here and mount it, and then get an indicator or something to. I hate running my indicator on there, wreck the needle. Unless I put tape over the. I might do that. Just put some tape over the wheel, and then run. Just turn it and see how true it's running to the hub. And I know I did this on another wheel, and it worked out really well. This is what I did was mounted it on my flange like I have here, tightened it up, checked it, and I seen, okay, well, this side's low. Went on the back side here and stuck a piece of, I think it was a double piece of note paper on there, and boom, it was running true. So then that's where I left it. Wow, those are some nice threads in there. I wonder who done those. Like I say, these motors are really easy to take apart and modify it to what you want it to be. The armature itself, so they're pretty well built motors. They're not just throwaways like nowadays most things are. All right, I'm going to knock these pins out the rest of the way so that I can. What did I do with my punch? Here we go. Put it back together again. All right. So let's try this again. So we can put this on first over here. Didn't want to go. I should just polish those pins down so they're a nice slip fit in there. But then I run the risk of them vibrating out all the time. I don't want to wreck my wheel. Come on. There we go. Just gotta find the hole. Is all. Carefully dip it over here. That one right there is lined up. Got a little chamfer on the pin to help with the lead in on the hole. Okay. I'm going to put this adjustment screw back in. Oh, come on. No more fingers. Adjust that. Adjust that all the way up. So, there it is. Loosen them up a little bit. That one's loose. This one must be the one that, there we go. And then I'm just moving it back to the wheel at about perpendicular to the wheel. Just snug that one up. Snug this one up. More than likely it'll always be set at the primary angle that I want on my cutters, so it'll be more than likely set at about 5 degrees. So probably be set about like that. So I could actually go back a little bit further. I could go back a little bit further and adjust that angle, or adjust it in and out until it. What I should have did was made this whole thing one piece to move back and forth, but this will work. Because right now, if you adjust it up, the gap will get smaller. You know, if I'd have made it, well, no, if I'd have made it all one piece, it still wouldn't have. So, but anyway, next thing on the project list here is to cut some tin and put some tin over the top of them. I think it's going to work out pretty good. I'm curious at how noisy it's going to be. I want to, maybe I can clamp it on the end of here. I think I'm just going to clamp it on the end of my little table here once. I'm just out of curiosity here. I have some 6-volt batteries here, some old dry cells that I can use. I don't want to drop it on the floor now either. Clamp it on good so it ain't going nowhere. Not gonna go nowhere. We got a couple of dry cells here. If I hook them in series, that'll be 12. Right. Positive to negative. Okay. And then positive to the positive lead on the grinder, on the motor, and then negative. I just want to see how smooth or how rough it runs. Oh yeah. Now, like I say, I don't know how true that wheel is running because I haven't done anything with that yet. I'm just grabbing a piece of a tool bit here. If I can find one that kind of needs sharpening or touching up. Now this one here is chipped. Now which way is it running? I don't know if I got the wires right. It's running. Okay, it's running that way. So over here. Should go up a little bit. I'll have more power with my transformer than those are putting out. But yeah, it's cleaned up that. It's not running too bad. It's a little bit out of whack. I'm going to take and grab a marker here and see if I can't right there. So it's this side right here that has to come out. I'm going to try that. Putting some paper behind it once, just to see if I can't get it to run nice and true. Oh, I just see another problem. I'm going to have to use a wrench now. And that's a 1/2 inch wrench. Let me get a 1/2 inch box sand wrench. I marked the back of the, so I could see where I want to put the paper. I'm just going to put a couple pieces of, maybe, if I can get this loose without breaking something. Actually, it's easier underneath. Alright, so I want to put a piece of paper right back behind that. Typing paper, copy paper here, piece of scratch paper. I'm going to double it over, and I'm just going to stick it on that flange back there. And loosen it up just a little more. Okay, and we'll tighten it back up and see what we got. Okay, tear off this extra paper that's not pinched. Hook the wire back up. Where did my tool bit go? Here we go. Just curious to see. Oh, I went too far, obviously. Let's see here. Put a mark on the outside here. Right there. Right there. So a little off. I should move that around to there. This, well, you get the idea of it, of what I'm doing here. Just putting shim in behind the wheel to get it to run to where I want, where it's halfway true. I'm going to try it one more time, and then I'm going to quit and go work on that tin for the. If I can get it in there. Come on. Kind of a bitch to get it in though, behind the wheel with my fat fingers. Oh baby. There we go. It was off that way a little bit toward this side. All right. Like I say, I had good luck before. I might have just got lucky too, I don't know. But it worked. With just a piece of paper. Basically balanced the wheel, or got the wheel to run true. Yeah, actually I think I had it best without anything in it. Well, anyway, you get the idea. You can mess around with that paper and get it to run perfectly true too. So anyway, I think that's going to be it for the recording for videoing. I'm going to cut some tin up and make some covers. Catch you later.